All right, folks, so we just finished solving sexual reproduction and the elements in the name of the Father, and this is just coming off of that video. You can see our paperwork here. And I'm just translating the files into a smaller video format so we can upload them immediately to the internet, the Jesus equals 888 YouTube channel. So they'll be up there as soon as possible. And so wow, that's amazing. So you can watch those videos, very epic. But here's just a scrolling review of what we looked at and what we saw, which was so amazing. Solving sexual reproduction for Father and the Christ, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. So and we just finished pointing out that Father gets the last word. He's on the very end of the word elements, as in the periodic table of the elem Father, and on the end of reproduction, sexual reproduction, and on the end of everything and anything, because Father equals thing. And when you say good night at the end of the day, Father gets the last word. Night equals Father. And flawless design, you know, the word thing and the word night. Oh, and I forgot to actually mention that in the word ends. 3 plus 2 is a single plus 1. Same thing in word thing and night. Okay. But in fact, of course, the word thing, this is so cool. This is such good preaching. The word thing uses the same letters as the word night. Let's take a look at the order. N-I-G-H-T, kind of bounces around. But what does the word thing and the word night have in common? Well, they come last. God saves the best for last. At the end of the day, you say, good night. Father gets the last word. That's the message. Father gets the last word. Father is the name above all names. You don't argue with God the Father, okay? He gets the last word. Father God. Okay, so at the end of the day, you say, good night. So Father gets the last word. And then you say, God created everything. Well, who gets the last word? Thing equals Father. So it's so cool. What's at the end of the day? Oh, night. Father. Thing. Every single thing. Oh, I want that thing. Father. Can I get this thing? Father. I want this thing. Father. So you pray to the Father. So cool. And how many prayers have happened at night asking the Father for anything and everything in the history of the universe? It's so cool. Okay, so, but then we just found that on the end of sexual reproduction, so Father gets the last word, and the end of elements, and so the periodic table of the elements is literally the periodic table of the elem Father. Father gets the last word, or sexual reproduction is literally sexual reproduct Father. He gets the last word, he created it all, and he's been sovereign over the words. Okay, so it's very delightful, it's very fascinating, it's an amazing treasure hunt, and we are solving sexual reproduction. We started by solving flowers today, and we solved a lot of famous parts of the flower, and then we got into sexual reproduction. So I've just been informed that the first of those 2 videos has been converted, so I can upload that to the YouTube channel, Jesus equals 888. It's Sunday morning at 9:25 a.m. On October the 2nd. I feel like one of those navigators that is reporting, you know, back home. This is the date and time. This is our progress. Very cool. Okay, so everything, Father, good night. And I already did the obvious thing. I ripped an English word list through a computer program that pulled out all the words that end in 58 Father, and there was a disturbing number of them. Like, I was shocked at how many passed the test. Like, I was actually overwhelmed at how many words God has ordained in the English language that end in 58, which equals Father. And as men do an exhaustive study on that and take a look at some of the more important words in world history, we will all be shocked by how Father takes the last word in this way. Okay. Very exciting. Sexual reproduction elements. I'll just poke around. I had a crash happen, and crash parallels Father. I love preaching the sovereignty of God. And it's so cool. I love preaching how the Father is on top. And then when you play the drums, technically, what is one of the highest elements in a drum kit? Well, the crash. You know, so crash is offset from Father. By the way, the famous gong is Father, timpani, percussion, and bass drum. Okay, also known as, yeah, bass drum is also Father. So some of the, and I would say the bass drum. So some of the, I was solving instruments the other day, so it's fresh in my mind. Okay, let's go to, well, hopefully I have these pages still in tab. No, Google for the crash kind of, well, I'll try and open that page again. It is uploading video now, so it's going to be a little bit reproduction. I just, we were in a very, okay, I'll show you where we are. So we were looking at the reproductive cycle in flowers, and then we were solving, oh yeah, and then we looked at fertilization, and but then we ended up, okay, yeah, this is the web page we were on that I had open. We had that crash. Oh my gosh, so here's another example for you. Like, fertilization ends in Father as well. Isn't this so cool? Like, look at all the words we just scoop up. Oh, the institution, like an academic institution. Boy, now I got a real easy job. Now we have a real easy programming job. Just go through all the words in world history and scoop up all the shuns. And you've already won for Father. Like, this is so obvious to me because we're talking about fertilization, like sex. Sex, like how everything multiplies down here. A sperm and an ovum performing fertilization. Well, this is so cool because it doesn't matter how you spell the beginning. Fertilization with an S or a Z, as it says here. Father gets the last word because it ends in T-I-O-N. And so an educational institution. You can almost make a shun out of just about everything. Okay. So there you go. Father gets the last word on fertilization, reproduction, generative fertilization, conception, fecundation, impregnation. A country is called a nation. God said, I will make you the father of many nations. Well, who gets the last word on the nation? Father. And then if you pluralize with an S is +1 for Father. But the obvious is shun. So we just hit the biggest gold mine ever because Father gets the last word. I mean, this came to me when I was looking at the last book of the Bible, which is called Revelation. It's sitting open here with all my markup. Revelation, the last book of the Bible. Okay, ends in shun, which equals Father. So Father gets the last word. God saves the best for last. So I will probably use a computer program to go through all the English words at some point and just, show me all the shuns that we have. Because Father equals shun. So, having scooped up fertilization, generative fertilization, conception, fecundation, impregnation, sexual reproduction, the educational institution, government institution, and any of the shun there is. Father, Father, Father. Sovereign over it all. Well, that was highly satisfying and very efficient. I love having efficiency. Okay. Efficient shun. Okay. So we were solving terms related to sexual reproduction. We solved the zygote. And then, very fascinatingly, fertilization, if you spell it with an S, as it is headlined in this article, the front part is all divides by 3 beautifully. In fact, it adds to 99. Very obvious 3 fest in front of Father. Like, if I could just be so bold, like fertilization is like the moment, the great moment of impact, connection between sperm and egg, or sperm and ovum. And so allow me to just write a very now famous equation. Fertilization equals Father plus 99. Pretty obvious Trinity glorifying offset. And like I said, Father is right on the end, okay, in blue. So blue equals Father, and bold underline equals 99. Pretty obvious Trinity glorification, isn't it? While Father is maximally glorified. There, fertilization. Like that is the moment of the moment of truth. When this happens, sperm connects with an ovum or egg, it's called fertilization. And not just in humans, but all species. Sexual reproducing species. So fertilization. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And now you can look at those letters that, you know, we looked at shun for Father, but, you know, look at all the threes now in fertilization, because it's obvious it's screaming out threes. You know, there's tons of letters that divide by 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then you just have a couple pairs that knit together. Why not choose the T and A to make 21, and the S and E to make 24? And then, you know, let's see what other multiples we get. We have an 18, so we have, just for fun, I'm in mathematics, I appreciate beautiful numbers, so there's a 24 and a 21. What else will come up? Because it's going to add to 99, which is a very satisfying number for threes. So why don't we just enjoy this? You have a 24, you have a 21, and R is an 18. We'll just bump that off. So look at this nice little list we've got going. Just put that in fuchsia. Oh my gosh. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. I've just, no kidding. Now you can get a 15. I've got every multiple of 3 in order, because an F and an I is a 15, an L is a 12, and an I is a 9. Amazing. The front of fertilization, letter per letter, contains all of these 6 teams going up in threes, starting with 9, to add flawlessly to 99. To the glory of the Trinity, while the Father takes the last word. Wow! And of course, let's state the obvious truth. As soon as fertilization has taken place, you are now an official biological father. Like, done. It's over. Now you are committed to that woman. As soon as fertilization, by the way, zinc is released in humans, and zinc parallels Father. Like at the moment of fertilization, you are now a dedicated, married father to that one woman for life. Like that's how huge this is. Fertilization. It ends in the word Father, but you saw the dramatic lead up in pure threes up until then. It ends in Father, T-I-O-N, and just by way of review, the beauty of that, speaking of 6s and 3s, an I and an O differ by 6, just like a T and an N differs by 6. And then, when you compare all these letters that divide by 3, like an I and an O equals an F and an R in Father, 24, 24. And they go up in threes, 6, 9, okay, they differ by 3 there, and then the R and the O differ by 3 in the other direction. And then A plus E equals 6, and then the T and H offsets from the T and N by 6. Okay, so dead. You know, I don't have a whole lot of colors here, but I'll just paint the detail there. But look at that on fertilization. Now I have 6 numbers here, and so why don't we paint that with the 6 colors of the rainbow and just do something beautiful here, so that we. But that's amazing. So the message is, at fertilization, you now are a father. You are a father. That new zygote is your child. Abortion is sin, you know. It's like that zygote is your child. Father. Okay? Fertilization. Look at all those 3s. Okay, so I just finished uploading that video. Now we're going to upload this great one, which is where we climaxed in noting the flawless parallelisms between sexual and Father and reproduction and Christ. Okay, so that's uploading as I speak. So check this out. So fertilization and Father. Okay. So that is so beautiful. I insist, fertilization. I insist on doing a painting. The 6 colors of the rainbow. We'll start with red and go end up in cool colors. So we'll do. Oh well, we just I just want to do this. It won't take too long. Red color, green, blue, and just pop in the fuchsia and just grab an orange. I just want to paint that gorgeous because that adds to 99 brilliantly, and I can't resist the fact that it's 6 numbers for the 6 colors of the rainbow. So that adds to 99 to the glory of the Trinity, and that is the front. And then shun equals Father. Father gets the last word. Okay. So let's just do this with a little bit of speed here. So I'll just grab this. There's team red, team orange right here. And then we want to go, oh, well, that's convenient. Kind of get a nice reverse effect there. There's your 15. Now the 18 was the R in green. The 21 is blue. And then the fuchsia is the SE. So there's a nice rainbow painting of the gorgeous 3 Fest, the God ordained, at the front of the famous letters Fertilisation, and which are so stunning. So those letters at the front add to 99 in teams of 3 that go up in threes starting at 9. 9, 12, 15, 18, 24. And then Father gets the last word. Okay, Father equals shun. So the moment fertilization has occurred, you are now a father. That means you are now committed to that woman for life. Awesome. But it's all to the glory of the Trinity and God the Father. Isn't like this one word alone. Trinity glorification, Father gets the last word. I don't know what else to say. This is so beautiful and so holy and so lasting and amazing. And then the more you look, the more you see. Find love. God leads us to find love in all these words, and you can do that easily by combining these 3s to make 27s, and like right off at the front, these 4 teams add to make 27. Team red plus team green. Amazingly, they're in symmetrical positions. The famous IR, the center of Christ, equals love. Gorgeous symmetrical positions. 3rd letter in, 3rd letter back. And then team gold plus team orange equals another love. And then the 21 and 24 add another 45. So lots to see. You could find other things in there for sure. But that's my initial glory fest there. So wow, fertilization. Father gets the last word. It's like you are a father. Like, who is the responsible one when sex happens? Who's the one that is most responsible? Who started this whole thing? Who instigated the sex? It's the man, okay? And so it's an indictment on the man. Say, you are now a father, sir. You are now obligated to take care of that child that happened through the fertilization. Fertilization ends in father explicitly, okay? It's not mother, it's father. To the glory of God the Father, and of course the responsibility of the man. So there you go. There you go. Fertilization was created by God the Father and the Trinity, and there it is. Oh man. And you can do similar studies on all these other words. My favorite thing though is that shun equals father. And so you don't have, if you don't want to, you can study more things and see Christ at the front of all these. Like I've preached on this before, like that. Those set of letters parallel Christ, and so Christ and Father makes it. And that's gorgeous. Now conception yields a gorgeous interleave of 2 equal teams that equal 57, 57, like in a sewing machine pattern. Okay, and I'm taking you deeper. These front letters flawlessly parallel Christ, where you have 2 plus 2s, a single plus 1, and 3 letters that divide by 3. Flawless, perfect. Okay. And then so Christ and the Father are in perfect unity with each other. And so when you put those sets of letters together, you get this gorgeous fireworks display of 3s that is flawless. In fact, conception parallels the famous word oxygen and breath and nostrils, kind of important for all human life, oxygen, breath, and nostrils, in that you get 2 equal teams of 3s in the hopscotch effect, just like in the word conception. Okay, so very beautiful. And of course, Father gets the last word in shun. Boy, it makes you want to check a lot. Okay. So other big words in sexual reproduction, I think we hit that pretty good. Wow. Haploid and diploid. Folks, I almost can't resist the obvious at this point. We just discovered and solved that Father takes the last word, the famous T-I-O-N. So I could enter a little bit of coding here. And I have an English word list that is quite large. Sweet, so both those videos are up and live for the whole world to watch. The mathematical solving of the word sexual and reproduction for Father and Christ, and it was obvious. Obvious as obvious can be. I'm like, if you aren't willing to watch this and discern a title, wow, sexual reproduction solved, that's a pretty awesome claim. I would consider taking it seriously. Okay. Incidentally, the word serious is also Father. Okay, let's, I love just solving things in real time. It's pretty awesome. So we watch this. Just I'm a programmer as well. By the way, I love this. I love preaching. See this like a program, computer program, parallels Father. Okay, so a programmer maintains the offsets. I'm going to show you how a programmer is like a very, like how many. It's just very pioneering position. A lot of programs very pioneering, and then you add more sixes to the party. So programmer is an obvious Father set of letters. Okay, and you can study all that and squeeze more out of it, and just there's your love on the end of the word program. And okay, so let's just do what the obvious was. I wanted to, and this is what this code is. I've got a number of algorithms where I'm parsing words. So I already did it yesterday. I find value at end 58. But now I would like to find, you know what, why don't we just, I already have a function called contains letters, or contains string. If contains string TION, I'll let it, even if it occurs in the middle, I'm still fascinated by TION equals Father. So let's just rip through this list and just marvel at how many words there are in the English language that end in TION for the glory of the Father who takes the last word. So let's build this. Won't take long. You'll see how efficient this is. Oh, I have it. It's going through books of the Bible. I want it to go through. I have a Word file. Where are we? Here's. I'd like to try and show you as much as possible. So I'm not. So we have a Word file. Yeah. Okay. It's called input file of. It's a huge number of English words, just with all the endings and all that. So this is going to go through a massive English word list, and it's going to give us a list of all the words that end in TION, which equals Father. And there's a huge number of them. It contains TION. Wow, I'm probably going to do a separate program. There's a lot that contain TION, but wow, there's actually more than I expected that contain it and don't end with it. So we can trim this list down. Let's make a second list of ones that end. We'll just modify this function here. Starts end with. Yeah, I guess I'll just modify. Oh joy. Is there not a string function that I can? string dot or what is it? Can you not just find, like, and get the index? Does that not return a number? Because if I can get the index, no. There's not something like find, string dot find, index of. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, that'll help me. Oh, last index of. That's perfect. Of the reports the zero base in of the last occurrence. Index position of the last occurrence of a specified string in this instant. Okay, so this will be a simple function. I'll just copy this one. It won't take us long. So ends with just right. Okay. So if string dot index last index of the string that we wanted to search for of find is equal to string dot length minus 1, something like that. We'll just double check this. I'll just do bool found equals false, return found, found equals true. Let's just see what we got here. I have no idea if this is dead accurate. It might be off by 1, but it doesn't take long. Just rip through it and see if it hit it. It might be off by 1. I'm guessing it'll be slightly off. Yeah, that did not give us, that's still, oh, I know why, because I didn't change the calling function, of course. Back to our algorithm calling zone. Bang, so we need to remove that and put in this instead. Welcome to programming for those of us just joining us. This is programming for the glory of the name of the Father. Ends with string. Okay, so let's see how that flies. We want to find all the English words that end in shun, because that equals father and it's very glaring. Okay, clearly that code did not do what I wanted it to, so let's do a little checking here. So I'm very suspicious of this. Returns the zero-based index position of the last occurrence of it. Oh, of course. Okay, so string length minus the find dot length, and there might be an off by 1 in there, but we'll just let it fly and see what happens. Let's see what we get. It might be off by 1. Yep, clearly it was. What the heck? What on earth? What the? If string dot last index of what? The length of that string. What did that do? And why did it spew out a bunch of for some reason I can't hook up a debugger to this, so I'm having to hit use console output. Welcome to Programming 101 for those of us just joining. Okay, so clearly it is declaring it to be found, but why is it giving me these 2-letter chunks? Is it like truncating it? What's it doing after this? Why is it? And why isn't it writing? Well, patience, folks. We'll get this. We'll get this. That first image is probably the best. So, Shun. Okay, so we're trying to fix our code here. Did I just spew that out? Why is it truncating? Why is it truncating these? Oh, it is reporting found, but why is it? It's very odd. Let's get back in here. So why is this bogus? This worked. I don't understand why I would truncate that. Like, clearly that's working just fine. Now, what happens in this function? Found equals false. Last index of find. And we were finding Shen. Is the function busted? I doubt that. It would be really disturbing if it was. Okay, so where are we? We are now running this baby. That's what we are doing. Okay, I am really wondering what's going on here. I need some more outputs here. .to string. Oh my goodness. Build that sucker. Run that sucker. Hey. Right, so that's all correct. That's seriously all correct. So why is the index. Oh, I think I need to do -1. So you found it there. Let's see, you found it at 6. Let's just try adding a -1 here. See how that fares. I have no idea. Oh yeah, because it might be there might be an out of bounds thing going on. There's probably a bounds error that's making it do all that weirdness. What is this? I think it's working, but why is it saying found for these? That is weird. Like, what the? What? That is the most confusing. Like, it's successfully getting my TIONs, but why is it littered with all this? What the? Anyways, why is it doing that? Really? Tantalizing. What is that all about? I'm very curious. What if I was to do something silly and give this like an extra? That's gonna do. Right, now it's getting the shuns. Okay. Oh, maybe it's the. What if I was to change this to this function? I have no idea. That could be what it is. But that could be what it is. I think that's what it is, actually. What? Okay, I don't know why there's this data in there. Oh, maybe it's because of the front. Oh, maybe it's because if you don't find it. Maybe I'll just do the contains thing first. I know this is weird programming, but I just want to get this. If string.contains find. I don't know if that's gonna, that doesn't seem like that shouldn't make any sense, but we're just trying to figure out without a debugger why all that fluff is getting in there. There! Yay, clean data. Okay, that's exactly the list we wanted after all that. Fine. So, check this out. We now have clean data. So these are all the English words that end in shun. How many we got? So here's all the English words. That's the beautiful thing about recording videos. Like, just record it. It can be edited in the future point. And so, file, save as, father, ends in TION. So here's all the English words. There are wow, this is ridiculous. There's 1,788 words in this list that all end in shun, which is father. Now, remember, this is the sovereignty of God. God the Father, of course, knows every single one of these 1,788 words. that all end in the famous shun, which equals Father, so that Father gets the last word. So huge, your vocation. It's your vocation. And that's a glorious way of saying it, you know, it's your calling, your vocation. Father gets the last word. Now I could do other comparisons and just see if the overall offset, like you can filter other things, right, which is the overall word. But Father gets the last word, so, oh, I am working at a workstation. Oh, thank you, Father, for this workstation. Father gets the last word. So, like, there's a whole lot of words that mean a whole lot. The ventilation, the veneration, a violation, vibration, vexation, verbalization. Apparently this is one of the Father's favorite endings. Veneration, variation, unction. Oh my gosh, that describes like the anointing. You have an unction from the Holy One and you know all things. Tuition. Wow, tuition is double love. Well, who's going to provide for your tuition? Well, Father gets the last word. Maybe you should pray to God the Father, and He will provide your tuition. Father owns the word tuition. He also owns the word institution. You're going to an institution that requires some tuition. Who gets the last word on both? Well, clearly Father does. T-I-O-N. So pray to the Father. Simple. Okay? God wants to be prayed to. The Bible tells us that. The prayer of the upright is His delight. Transplantation, transition, transcription, toleration, transfiguration. The great transfiguration of Jesus on the mountain. Well, who is on top of Jesus in that whole story? Well, clearly the voice came from heaven, above Jesus. Well, who's that talking? Well, the Father. And to this day, it's called the Transfiguration. And it ends in shun, which equals Father. Who gets the last word? Well, Father gets the last word. In fact, Peter was trying to talk on the mountain, and God the Father said, you know what, you be quiet and let me talk. Because I know what I'm talking about. And the Bible tells us that Peter had no idea what to say. And God said, okay, you be quiet, I'm going to talk. And He said, this is my beloved Son, hear Him. Like, you shut up, you listen to my Son. Okay. Shun, Father, the Transfiguration. So, Father, it's amazing. Father, you know, the voice from heaven that spoke to Jesus on the Transfiguration. There you go. Transformation. Oh, someone undergoing a transformation. Well, who gives all transformations to all people? God the Father does. Oh, I'm in a season of transition, we say. Well, Father gets the last word. Shun. Oh, we're doing a translation. Oh, do we have a good Bible translation? How do you like your Bible translation? Father gets the last word on translation. Oh, we need a transliteration of this. Transmigration, transmutation, transplantation, transportation. How's the transportation in the city? Well, are people praying to the Father? Because if they pray to the Father daily, they'll have so many good ideas, and our transportation will get cleaned up, and our whole world will get cleaned up. And because people are now awakened to the fact that Father gets the last word, Father owns everything, if we all start praying to the Father, things will actually start happening. This is what you call a revelation. The last book of the Bible ends in shun, Father. Father gets the last word. That's why it is. By the way, the word full stop, period, exclamation mark, quotation mark, and question mark that all end a sentence also parallel Father. Okay, Father gets the period, the full stop, the exclamation mark, whatever mark you want to pick. Mark is Father. Okay, so, oh, how's the transportation in our city? Well, are you people praying to the Father for good ideas, for wisdom? No. Well, maybe that's why. Things are as crappy as can be, and completely inefficient, and completely depressing, and people are hating each other, and there's no respect on the buses, and children are flying all over the place, and it's because we don't have people worshiping God the Father. They're not praying to Him. They don't know Jesus Christ the Son. Well, if you confess the Father, then that means He must have a Son. Father is on the end of transportation. This is the most glorious list in the history of the universe. Tribulation. Wow, huge word. Triplication, trisection, tuition. A lot of these I need to brush up. Alteration, ultra. universalization, let's go to the beginning, the A's, and then zonation. I don't even know what that means. Zonation. I can find out, courtesy of Google. Like, that's why we have this. Google parallels Father. What does zonation mean? Oh, let's see. It sounds like something high up in the sky. It sounds like something that God would be into in terms of aboveness. Zonation. Marine biologists divide the international region into 3 zones based on the average overall exposure of the zone. So this is relating to altitude, specifically tides, the splash zone, zonation. Okay, so it's referring to altitude, which we know is zonation. Distribution, well, it's bigger than that. Distribution, wow, it's really taking off in recent history, this word. Oh, excuse my zoom. Distribution in zones or regions of definite character. Quartz grains can exhibit zonation and rounding. Distribution in zones or regions of definite character. The distributions of plants or animals into specific zones according to such parameters as altitude or depth, each characterized by its dominant species. Awesome word. Zonation. Putting things into zones. You are classifying zones. Okay, great. But all these words end in Father. So abbreviation. Wow, the first one on the list is very awesome. Because an abbreviation is, of course, referring to words, which is king. Words are king. So abbreviation. An abbreviation. Father. An abbreviation. Father. No less, this word itself is exactly 60 points higher than Father. It is gorgeous. For Father. Abbreviation, abdication, abduction, aberration, abjection, ablation, abolition, abomination. These are some of the biggest words in the Bible. Abortion. Now, of course, just because something ends in shun does not mean that it's good. Now, there are good forms of abortion, like when you abort something that is sinful in your life. You know, abort the mission, abort a bad idea. That's a good thing. But not killing children in the womb. That's not a good thing. And I've preached on solving pro-life and anti-abortion before. The word abortion contains the word anti. Okay. Anyways, I've preached on that before. Absolution, absorption. Acceleration. Oh man. Oh man, acceleration. How anything starts moving. Did you get in your car this morning? Did you wake up? Did you experience a little bit of acceleration? Father gets the last word. And it's a gorgeous offset from Father because it's acceleration is just screaming out sixes. And look at the Father in acceleration because you got the double AE. An AE and an AE. Just like in Father are the 2 sixes. And then everything else at the front divides by 3 in gorgeous sixes. A C plus a C is a 6. L is double 6 and R is triple 6. Acceleration is like the most Father glorifying set of letters like since the last 5 seconds of glory. But look at it. Shun equals Father. But then look at the sixes. There's even an acceleration in the front of the letters that divide by 3. You got 3 plus 3 is 6. And an L is double 6. And an R is triple 6. And the AE is 6 6 just like in Father. And then by way of comparison, the FR and Father both divide by 6. And the AE, it's so embarrassingly obvious whose name is declared in the word acceleration. Father. How does anything in this universe start moving? Oh, it's called acceleration. Oh, like the acceleration due to gravity, we say. Who invented that? Father. Who made sure that it's spelled correctly so that his name is glorified in world history? Father. Should this be taught to all of our children in all schools worldwide using basic math like we've just done? Yes. What would that accomplish? Well, converting many people to the true and living God, making many people go to heaven, and producing far greater happiness and pleasure to God on earth. Is that a good idea? Yes. Okay. So, shun ends in father. And the overall offset is gorgeous because this was pure sixes at the front. It adds to 48 like this tally has already told me. So acceleration is father plus 48. It's a gorgeous offset. Very glaring too. Like the beauty, and that's just, so what else? Acclamation. And just all these words end in father. Like they all come from father. He's sovereign over them. They belong to him. And he knows what they all mean, and he gives all of these words and the experiences of these words to all people according to his sovereign will. Acclamation. Critical acclaim. Oh, this publication received critical acclaim. Well, who gave you that critical acclaim? Father. God the Father gave you that acclamation. Acclimatization. Accommodation. Wow. Big word in the business world. Big financial word. How's the accommodation there? Father. Accreditation. Wow. Accumulation. Accusation. Acidification. Acquisition. Action. Why don't I'm just going to peg a few. Reaction and good activation. Actualization. Adaptation. Adapt.